Hi, everybody. This is John Fanta with Fox Sports and the Big East Digital Network.
Hi, this is Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky with the Chicago Bulls, our flagship station, 670 The Score.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Barn at ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washington Sports Digital Network.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Rab Rogers Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University for Game 1 of this three-game GAC baseball series between the Ouachita Tigers and the Oklahoma Baptist Bisons. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chris Babb. Be on the mic with you this weekend as we have an exciting weekend of baseball. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon for baseball in Southwest Arkansas. If we take a look at the Great American Conference standings, Oklahoma Baptist comes in 16-9 overall, 9-6 in GAC play. 3 games behind Harding alone in first. Ouachita sits tied for 6 at 8-7. Not a lot of separation there between teams 2 and 10 as all these teams try to finish in the top 8 as we get ready to try to wrap the season up, weirdly enough, here in about 4 weeks and prepare for that Great American Conference tournament. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison as they will come in today's game with a 9-6 GAC record. You see the starting lineups there. We'll give it to you again when they approach the plate here in a few minutes. The starting lineups being announced here by public address announcer Brian Ramsey, and we'll pause for the national anthem in just a minute. But you see a lot of high batting averages on this Oklahoma Baptist team. Oklahoma Baptist second in the GAC in overall batting average. Let's pause right now for the national anthem and opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we are so grateful in your kingdom. Help us to have a great spirit of sportsmanship and help us enjoy this great game of baseball today. Injury-free. God, I pray more than anything that we do, everything to glorify you and everything that we do, say, and think. In your name we pray. Amen. I invite you to please remain standing as we honor America and those who serve it for the playing of our national anthem.
We are ready for baseball. It is a cool day. I was going to say windy, but it is not windy compared to last weekend when these two teams played. Ouachita was at Southern Nazarene. That game 1 was postponed in the 3rd inning because of winds gusting up to 69 miles an hour. Definitely nothing like that today. It is about 10 or 12 miles an hour. Let's put that Oklahoma Baptist starting lineup and batting order back up on the screen for you. Tell you what will be coming up to the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. Mac Marsick, Keenan Morris, DJ Van Atten, the top 3. Lucas Schaefer batting 4th and playing second base. Spencer Dickinson batting 5th and playing third base for the Bison. Zane Bennett, Jaden Schaefer, Braden Smith, Jesse Tisdall rounding out the starting lineup for Oklahoma Baptist. And they will face on the mound for Ouachita, Chase Oberle. Chase Oberle, a senior right-handed pitcher. You get a look at Oberle on the mound. Got his numbers for you. Oberle with a 2-2 record, 4.15 ERA. This is his 9th start and his 9th appearance 43 in the third innings pitch, 56 hits, 9 walks, 40 strikeouts. Good strikeout to walk ratio for the senior Chase Oberly. He allowed 22 runs, 20 of those earned, and opponents are batting .306 against the Ouachita senior right-hander. It is an overcast day here at Rab Rogers Field. Let's set the Ouachita defense up for you. Left to right around the infield, Reese McWilliams at third base, Wesley Scott at shortstop. Second base is Austin Gathright, and Connor Titus gets the start at first base. Left to right around the outfield for the Tigers, Garrett Graham in left, Isaac Nowell in center, and Connor Hill in right field. No midweek game this week for the Tigers. Oklahoma Baptist had a midweek against Southwestern Oklahoma that was kind of typical of some midweek games we've seen around college baseball these last few weeks. High scoring. Southwestern Oklahoma won 19-10. And Oklahoma Baptist trying to get things going. Matt Marsick leads things off. The junior steps in from the left side. One of 3 left-handed batters in this Oklahoma Baptist lineup, batting .305 on the season and 82 at-bats. First pitch swinging, ground ball, backhanded by Gathright. The throw across to Hill is in time, and 1 pitch, 1 up, and 1 down for Chase Oberly. That'll bring up Keenan Morris, another lefty in this lineup, getting the start at shortstop today, batting .316 on the season, 79 at-bats, 25 hits, 8 of those are doubles. He also is one among the conference leaders in walks drawn for Keenan Morris, the junior from Eureka, California. Chase Oberly, the normal Game 1 starter for Ouachita, the senior, 6'3", 190 pounds, from Justin, Texas. The 0-1 pitch is fouled down the first base line, and Oberly is ahead in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, Morris went around. Joseph Boland will step inside, make a throw down to first base. And Morris is retired on the strikeout. So 4-3 for the first put out. Strikeout 2-3 put out for out number 2, and that brings up the dangerous DJ Van Atten, batting .400 on the season, second in the conference. He's third in the conference in batting average, fourth in slugging percentage, getting the start at DH. Had some success in the conference at Southern Nazarene before leaving, and then transferring to Oklahoma Baptist. DJ Van Atten to Abilene, and that fouls that one off the facing of the Ouachita dugout, and the count is 1-1 to the free swinging DJ Van Atten, 6'1" senior from Lata, Oklahoma. You look in the category leaders in offensive categories as the 1-1 pitch from Van Atten is a breaking ball that catches Van Atten. Tried to check his swing, couldn't do so, and Oberly is ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind is relatively calm. It's a swing at a breaking ball and a miss. Kind of fooled him. Boland jogs down, makes the throw down to Connor Titus. To Connor Titus for the second time in as many batters, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers, or for Chase Oberly. 3 up, 3 down for the Bison in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Oklahoma Baptist 0, Ouachita coming to bat after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm attorney Taylor King. For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
The bottom of the first we go. Let's take a look at the Ouachita starting lineup. The led off by senior Isaac Now. Wesley Scott will bat second and play shortstop. Garrett Graham gets the start in the 3-hole and playing left field. Jackson Jester, the DH, will bat cleanup for Ouachita. Joseph Boland batting fifth and catching. Austin Gathright batting sixth and playing second base. Reese McWilliams getting the start at third base and batting seventh. Connor Hill batting eighth and playing right field. And Connor Titus batting ninth and playing first base. Let's take a look at the starting pitcher for Oklahoma Baptist. That's David Stewart, a senior, 4-2 on the season. This is his 8th appearance on the season. 4.62 ERA, 39 innings pitched. There you see the numbers on David Stewart. The senior righty from Lawrence, Kansas, transfer from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. First Tiger he will see is Isaac Nowell. Leads the team in batting average with a .333 average. First pitch from Stewart is up and in for ball one. Isaac Nowell is a 6'2 senior from Little Rock, Arkansas. Been a regular in that starting lineup for Ouachita the last few years. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a called strike one. He and Wesley Scott are really the only regular starters. I guess Joseph Boland got to start last year a lot in the outfield, but only 3 returning starters, which you could consider considerable starts from last year's team. Now pops that one up in the infield. Not a bunch of wind, and then settling under it and making the catch at second base is Lucas Schaefer. So now is retired on the pop-up to second base for the first out of the inning. That brings up Wesley Scott, the sophomore, batting .264 on the season and 87 at-bats. He has 23 hits, 7 doubles, leads the team in that category. Steps in from the right side. Scott, a 6', 185-pound sophomore from Dallas, went to Lake Highland, swinging at the first pitch he sees from Stewart and fouls it down the line for strike one. I'd like to say hello to our good friend Todd Miller, voice of the Oklahoma Baptist Bison. Message with him, said he was going to be listening, be praying for your family. Nice pitch there from Stewart, and he's ahead in the count, 0-2 to Wesley Scott, the starting shortstop for Ouachita. Game 1 of 2 today. The 0-2 pitch. Scott takes that breaking ball outside. Game 1 of 2. They'll play game 3 tomorrow beginning at noon. This is the beginning of spring break on the Ouachita campus. The 1-2 pitch, check swing, foul down the first base line, and Scott will have another go at it. Would like to thank several of our students who have stuck around for this weekend, and coming back early next weekend will be some of those. Gavin Wallace, Chloe Velman, Coleman Callan, Madeline Colzer, Dante Gibson, Eli Wilson. Member students in the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. The 1-2 pitch misses for ball 2, and Wesley Scott has run the count even. The wind is kind of shifting, I'd say, today. It was just based on the flag. The 2-2 pitch. Shot down the left field line, but foul. The wind currently is blowing in from center field. Yesterday, the winds were about 15 miles an hour blowing out towards left field, which Luke Howard said the winds were expected to be a little bit lighter. That's a base hit into center field for Wesley Scott. That is a nice two-strike AB from Wesley Scott to get the first base hit of the game for either team. Went right back up the middle into that wind. Base hit to center field gets the first base runner aboard. I'll bring up Garrett Graham, the junior left fielder, batting .268 on the season, 19 hits in 71 at-bats. Wesley Scott is the team leader in stolen bases. He does have 9 on the season. Nine of 10 in the stolen base category. The only other Tiger with 4, the next closest is Aiden LeMasters with 4. Tigers have stolen 22 bases this season as the 1-0 pitch is upstairs. Both of these teams come into the game having stolen 22 bases on the season. The 2-0 pitch, a high fly ball into center field. That shouldn't be a problem for Jesse Tisdale. He comes in, makes the catch, and Wesley Scott has to retreat back to first base. So F8 for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up Jackson Jester, the DH in the lineup, batting from the left side. It starts a left-right, left-right, left-right batting in the Ouachita lineup. Jester, a freshman from Pottsboro, Texas. Batting .238 on the season, 10 hits and 42 at-bats. Breaking ball inside for ball one from Stewart. They'll check over to first base to Scott. He gets back safely. 39 innings pitched for Stewart on the season, giving up 40 hits, 25 runs, 20 of those earned. He has walked 22 as Scott breaks, gets a good break. The pitch was high and outside, so Wesley Scott records his 10th stolen base of the season. And now there's a runner in scoring position for Jester. With a 2-0 count. Get a good look at the lefty Jester. Scott out at second. Shadowed by Keenan Morris there at short. The 2-0 pitch. Opposite field into left field. That looked like it was starting towards left center field, but then the wind pushed it to left, and then with the spin of the ball coming from the left-hander, went right into the glove with no problem to left fielder Matt Marsick. So the Tigers do get no runs on one hit. There were no Oklahoma Baptist errors, one runner left on base. No score after one. Back for the second after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita. Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita. Ouachita.
Ouachita. How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Oklahoma Baptist. Lucas Schaefer, Spencer Dickinson, Zane Bennett facing Chase Oberly here in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors for Oklahoma Baptist. No runs on one hit, no errors for Ouachita. Lucas Schaefer steps into the steps into the box. The junior batting .333 on the season. 28 hits in 84 at-bats. He does have 8 doubles, 2 triples, and 6 home runs. So hit for power. He's third in slugging percentage in the conference. First pitch was taken for a called strike, and a big swing and a miss from Schaefer on the 0-1 pitch. So quickly, Oberly is ahead in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Schaefer gets just off the cap of the bat and stays alive. Most of these Oklahoma Baptist batters are significant pull hitters, although the outfield is shading into right center field. Now was shading him to right center field, and probably because Oberle knew Oberle was coming with that breaking ball. It started over the middle of the plate, broke away, and it is the third strikeout for Chase Oberle. Brings up Spencer Dickinson. Dickinson 5th in the conference in batting average. Takes the first pitch he sees from Oberle inside for ball one, batting .389 on the season. Dickinson, a senior from Saipan, Mariana Islands, transferred to College of the Desert. And he's ahead in the count, 2-0 to Chase Oberle. Looks down and gets his sign. The 2-0 pitch misses as well, and so for the first time, Oberle has gone 3-0 on a batter. First time that he's had 3 balls at all to a batter here in the first inning and the third. The 3-0 pitch is taken for a called strike one, so Oberle will try to bounce back. The 3-1 pitch is a fastball upstairs that he just couldn't quite lay off of, and Dickinson fouls that one over the net, and the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wind is blowing in. The 3-2 pitch is outside. Nice stop by Bolin. Dickinson reaches base. Comes the first Bison to do so.
Right fielder Zane Bennett.
And that'll bring up Zane Bennett. Oberle had gotten a couple of strikeouts on that breaking ball that started over the outer half of the plate and broke away from the right-handed batters. That one just didn't start close enough to warrant a swing from Dickinson, so now it brings up Bennett. The junior batting .321 on the season. The appeal down to first. First base umpire says Bennett did not go around. Oberle really liking that curveball that starts in the middle and breaks away. Seen that a lot here in the first 2 innings. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball that catches the outside part of the plate for strike one. Now the count is even at 1-1. Not the only baseball going on in town this weekend, so the Nazarene is in town across the street at Henderson State for their 3-game GAC series. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into center field. Isaac now has a bead on it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
First baseman Jaden Schaefer.
And Jaden Schaefer to the plate now. Jaden Schaefer, 6'2" senior from Tecumseh, Oklahoma, transferred from Murray State College. Steps in from the left side, one of those 3 lefties in this Oklahoma Baptist lineup, batting .278 on the season. First pitch swinging, nice backhanded stop at first base by Connor Titus, steps on the bag, and the side is retired. So, no runs on no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left on, and that was Dickinson after the 1-out walk. We go to the bottom of the second. No score from Rab Rogers Field on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who is an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
You get a good look at Oklahoma Baptist starting pitcher David Stewart coming out for his second inning of work. He did give up 1 hit to Ouachita in the bottom of the first. That was Wesley Scott. Scott stole second, but the inning ended after Stewart got Jackson Jester to fly out to left field. Stewart will face the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Ouachita lineup to start the second inning. Joseph Bolin, Austin Gathright, Reese McWilliams. Joseph Bolin started his career as catcher, saw some action in right field last year, started in right field this year, and then went back to the plate as the first pitch he sees from Stewart is upstairs. Went back to the plate after Ouachita catcher Octavio Mendeville was injured early in the season. So Bolin has started behind the dish majority of those games after Mendeville left. Bolin turns on one, but fouls that one down the left field line for strike one. Bolin, junior from El Dorado, Arkansas. Batting .233 on the season, 14 hits. This is a Ouachita team that's still trying to find itself offensively. As the 1-1 pitch misses outside. Oklahoma Baptist right second in the conference in batting average, right below Southwestern Oklahoma. Ouachita, that one fouled out of play by Bolin. Left fielder gives chase, and it's a lot closer than I thought it was, but Marsick did a nice job of continuing on that one, and it blew it into the wind, eventually blew it into the home bullpen. So the count is now 2-2 to the Ouachita catcher, Joseph Bolin. Southwestern Oklahoma leads the conference in batting average at .307. Oklahoma Baptist and Henderson State right there together at .306. Talked about Ouachita. They have gotten their wins as the 2-2 pitch is fouled off by Bolin. Thanks to solid fielding, they're batting .214 as a team. Coach Howard trying to find different lineups to mix offense with defense and try to throw some different looks. And still trying to come into it offensively is the Ouachita Bats. The 2-2 pitch to Bolin, taken on the outside corner for a called strike three. So Bolin is retired on the backwards K for the first out of the inning. That brings up Austin Gathright. Gathright, a freshman from Frisco, Texas, getting the start at second base today. 20th appearance, 12th start for Gathright. Has 7 hits in 36 at-bats. Dickinson playing in on the grass. Gathright squares, pulls it back, and the pitch is taken for a called strike one. Gathright trying to get on base. Reese McWilliams on deck for Ouachita in the 7-hole, getting the start at third base. The 1-1 pitch did not square, fouled that one out of play. And now Stewart is ahead in the count 1-2, so Dickinson retreats back to the normal position at third base. There's a decent amount of room between Dickinson and the bag. Gathright could shoot one down, and that's exactly what he does. He shoots it over the glove and head of Dickinson into left field for a one-out single. So Gathright goes the other way with it. And he's on first base now for Reese McWilliams, senior, getting his 12th start of the season. Williams, a senior from Little Rock, went to Catholic High School, played first at Crowder College. Big cut. Stewart fools him on that one. And the Bison righty is ahead in the count, 0-1. The one pitch misses upstairs for ball one. It'll be quiet the next few days on campus. It's been anything but that to this point. Yesterday, Ouachita Track and Field hosted its first meet in 30 years at the Hickenbotham Family Track and Field. The 1-1 pitch, hit and run situation, and that is a fair ball down the line off the fence. Ouachita may have a chance. They misplays the ball in left field, and Ouachita is going to get on the board first. Gathright was running with the pitch. McWilliams with the hit and run. The ball landed on the line. If it wasn't on the line, it was 2 inches from it. There is a fence that protects the bullpen. The bullpen is not in play, but it is in the field of play, in foul territory. McWilliams' ball hit the fence, which kind of diagonals, and then Marsick had a trouble fielding it when he went over to it. Made a nice play on it, but he just bobbled it just enough to allow third base coach Bo Burson to wave Gathright home for Ouachita's first run of the game. So McWilliams is on second. And now Connor Hill in the box for Ouachita. The count is even at 1-1. Yeah, it was a hit and run situation, it looked like, and Reese McWilliams put it just right where it needed to go, right on the foul line. And then Marsick's trouble in left field enabled Gathright to score. He did break his stride because Burson was originally going to hold him up. Stewart is ahead in the count 1-2 after the 1-1 pitch was taken by Connor Hill. Hill's a freshman in the lineup from Rowlett, Texas. One of 3 freshmen in this Ouachita lineup. The 1-2 pitch outside for ball 2. That was close. It was a great pitch by Stewart on the 1-2, trying to get Hill to either take a called strike 3. It just wasn't close enough. So 2-2 the count. This is a Ouachita team that lost a lot from last year. They have some young talent in the lineup now. The 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball that release point was just a little bit high, and that one stayed up, so now the count is full. And in the current college climate, you don't see a whole lot of freshmen playing. So Coach Howard going with a few freshmen, trying to mix in with some veterans and try to generate something and make it happen. And a lot of times you're playing against rosters these days that are 21, 22 years old. The 3-2 pitch from Stewart. He'll square back. Reese McWilliams saw that and got back to the bag. Stewart continued his throw to Keenan Morris at shortstop. Looks down at his band and gets the sign. The 3-2 pitch is inside for ball 4, so Connor Hill draws a 1-out walk. And that'll bring it to the 9-hole hitter in the Ouachita lineup, Connor Titus.
Now batting first baseman.
Connor Titus, a junior from Cabot, Arkansas, transferred from Highland Community College, 5'11", 190. Listed as an outfielder, but he is getting the start at first base today. He bats with 2 runners on and 1 out. Double play depth in the middle infield. First base playing in on the grass. A square around a bunt, and that is a fantastic bunt if it'll stay fair, but it does not. Nice decision by Dickinson and Stewart to let that one roll. It was a nice bunt by Titus, but it just had a little bit too much on it, and Dickinson let it roll foul before he touched it, and so now we'll do it again. We mentioned the track meet yesterday. Track and field was a sport until the mid-90s, dropped the sport. Last year, construction began on the Hickenbotham Family Track and Field. It's completed a couple of months ago, and Ouachita hosted its first track meet at the new facility yesterday. Great day. It was a little windy. The 0-1 pitch upstairs for ball 1. It was really kind to the runners coming down the home stretch. But if you ran the 400 or 800. It had to be brutal on the backstretch, or the 4x1, or that backstretch running into the wind was tough. The 1-1 pitch to Titus from Stewart. Swing and a miss at one upstairs. 1-2. Isaac now on deck for Ouachita. He'll try to become the second senior to produce this inning. Reese McWilliams did so a couple of at-bats ago. Now is the team leader in batting average at .333. The 1-2 pitch now to Titus upstairs for ball 2. The wind now is picked up a little bit. It's blowing out to, or from right field to left field. Swing and a miss. And Connor Titus is retired for the second out of the inning, second strikeout of the inning.
Now batting center fielder Isaac.
And Isaac now comes to the plate for Ouachita. Popped up to the second baseman to lead off the first. He has a chance to increase this Ouachita lead. Here in the bottom of the second inning. So far, 1 run on 2 hits for the Tigers. Now gets a piece of that one. Now waits the 0-1 upstairs for ball 1. Elsewhere in the Great American Conference, Harding is at Southeastern Oklahoma State, Arkansas Tech at East Central. SWOSU is at SAU, and Northwestern Oklahoma State is at UAM, and we mentioned that Southern Nazarene was across the street at Henderson this weekend. They're playing a single game tonight at 6 and a doubleheader tomorrow. The 1-1 check swing foul, and so the count will move to 1-2. Reese McWilliams on second. Connor Hill on first. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Ouachita got the first run across as Austin Gathright was running on the pitch. He was at first base. McWilliams, a nice hit and run shot down the line. Misplay in left field allowed Gathright to score. And that's where we are now. Now we'll try to add to that. David Stewart will try to get his team back in the dugout. The 1-2 pitch outside for ball 2. Nice take from the senior Isaac Nowell. Another good take. That was a great stop behind the plate for Braden Smith, the catcher for Oklahoma Baptist. The 6'2 sophomore from Frisco, played at Frisco Memorial. Dove out in front of that one, kept it in front of his body, not allowing the runners to go. So now full count, they will be off with the pitch. Stewart on the mound, now in the box, the 3-2 pitch, and they'll spin back. McWilliams saw that one again and got in easily. Lucas Schaefer covering from second base. Full count, 2 outs, bottom of the second. 2 on. The runners take their break, and now swings, and I guess he got a piece of that one. I know the ball got a piece of Braden Smith. The umpire is going to take a couple of minutes and walk out and have a conversation with David Stewart, make sure that Braden Smith is okay. Braden Smith listed at 6'2". Isaac now also listed at 6'2", and they were pretty the exact height. The umpire is definitely not 6'2". So we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Bottom of the second. The 3-2 pitch, the runners go, and it's a foul ball to the backstop, and we'll do it again. Now getting his money's worth in this at bat against Stewart. Another full count, 2-out pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Stewart wins that battle to end the inning. 3 outs in the inning, all came on the strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. But the Tigers do get 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 Oklahoma Baptist error, 2 runners left on base. We finished 2, Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. Back for the third after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803. To the top of the third, Chase Oberly back out for his third inning of work. He will face the 8-9-1 hitters for Oklahoma Baptist, Braden Smith, Jesse Tisdale, and back to the top of the order to Matt Marsick. Braden Smith had plenty of action in the bottom of the second. Smith, a sophomore, batting .257 on the season. The 0-1 pitch right down the middle for strike 2. So Oberly working effectively. He's gotten ahead of most of his batters. He did have a 1-3-0 count in the second inning and escaped unscathed. Well, the count now says 1-2, but it was 0-2. Swing and a miss as Joseph Boland held on to that one. And so umpire having something to say to the Ouachita dugout. So now Tisdale to the plate for Oklahoma Baptist after Oberly records his 4th strikeout of the game. Tisdale batting .263 on the season. The 0-1 pitch misses for ball 1. The umpire does not feel like he needed to check on that one. Tisdale did go around for strike 2. Another strikeout for Oberly for the second out of the inning. So that is 5 on the day. And now we go back to the top of the order to Matt Marsick, who was the first out of the game on the first pitch he saw. He grounded out to Gathright at second, and he bats with 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Shortstop Keenan Morris.
Marsick gets the first hit of the game for
Oklahoma Baptist, and that brings up Keenan Morris. Apologize for the difficulty there, trying to work out something on our end up here in the booth. So now 2 outs for Keenan Morris. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Oberly misses on the first pitch. The count is 1-0. That's a shot into right field, a good hit from Morris, and that will allow Marsick to advance to third. So 2 straight singles for Oklahoma Baptist. And they have runners on the corners with 2 outs, and this is exactly who the Bison want up to the plate in this situation. DJ Van Atten, 3rd in the conference in batting average, 4th in slugging percentage, batting .400 on the season coming into today's game. In 90 at-bats, he has 36 home runs, 11 doubles, 5 homers. He's the team second on the team, or tied for second on the team in RBIs with 27. Oberly checks over to first base to keep Morris honest. Marsick is at third. So 2 2-out singles have Oklahoma Baptist in business with their big bat at the plate. First pitch off speed, taken for a called strike 1. Van Atten 6'1". The weights aren't on here. I'm going to guess 220 at least. The 0-1 pitch challenged him. Bolin tried to get on top of that one behind the plate and bring it down, but didn't get the call, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike to the Oklahoma Baptist DH, 3rd in the conference in batting average at .400. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball outside for ball 2. Colin Helms leads the way in the conference in batting average. Colin Helms of Harding at .410. Chaz Poppy from UAM second at .404. Van Atten at .400. Those are the only 3 batters in the conference batting .400 or above. The 2-1 pitch taken for a called strike 2. So here we go. Good battle between Oberly and Van Atten. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Close to being a pitch count violation if Van Atten hadn't stepped in the box, and that would have been the 3rd strike. The runner from first goes, and Chase Oberly gets the strikeout of Van Atten on the breaking ball. That is his 2nd strikeout of Van Atten on the day, and the Tigers escape. So, no runs in the 3rd for Oklahoma Baptist on 2 hits, no errors for Ouachita, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. Come back to Rab Rogers with us after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Wesley Scott leads things off for Ouachita. It will be 2-3-4. Wesley Scott, Garrett Graham, Jackson Jester against David Stewart in his 3rd inning of work on the mound for the Bison. First pitch is a breaking ball, started too far inside and taken for ball 1. Scott had a single to center in the first, stole second, but was stranded. Takes the first pitch he sees, the 2nd pitch for ball 2. Scott had a tremendous freshman season last year. Started most games at second base, moved over to shortstop this year, the 2-0 pitch. High fly ball to left field, and that, I believe, had the distance, but too far foul. And it is a long strike for Wesley Scott. Moved over to shortstop this year after the graduation of Dustin Bermudez. A lot of times last year when DB would come into the mound, you'd see Scott move over to short. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Nice mix of pitches by Stewart. The count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter in the third inning, Wesley Scott. The 2-2, high fly ball, shallow outfield. The catch is made in the outfield by Keenan Morris, the shortstop. Plenty of time to range into shallow center field and make the catch. So Scott is retired for the first out of the inning. Garrett Graham to the plate for Ouachita. Flew out to center field for the second out of the first inning. Stewart has left several of his high, whether they're breaking balls or just fastballs. Find it consistently. The 1-0 pitch, check swing, and that is a foul ball as Graham began running because it hit the plate, I believe, and then it bounced out foul. Oklahoma Baptist catcher Braden Smith let that one roll foul and fielded it in foul territory, and the count is 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball outside for ball 2. Bo Burson coaching third base for Ouachita. Octavio Mendeval, the injured catcher, coaching first base for the Tigers. Dave Brown is the pitching coach, Luke Howard the head coach. 2-1 pitch, a high fly ball into left field. It drifts back, still back to the track and almost up against the wall, and the catch is made by Matt Marsick as that ball got in the air and just kept drifting.
Now batting designated hitter Jackson Jester.
So Graham's long fly out to left field is the second out of the inning, and Jackson Jester comes to the plate. He flew out to Marsick in left field to end the first inning, 0 for 1. After that fly out, bats with no runners on and 2 outs. Fouls that one out of play down the left field line. Pretty much playing Jester straight up in the outfield. Second base and shortstop are deep, standing on the grass. The 0-1 pitch is outside for ball 1. The 1-1 pitch looked like it was coming inside, but stayed in there, and Stewart is ahead in the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Ouachita got 1 across in the second. Stranded 2 Oklahoma Baptist runners. That is a shot right at shortstop, a slicing shot into Keenan Morris as he got a nice read on it and made the catch for the third out of the inning. So L6 for the third out of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors in the frame. We're through 3. Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. Back after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of bats and signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Tyson, second baseman Lucas.
Top of the fourth inning. Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. 4-5-6 for Oklahoma Baptist in the fourth. Lucas Schaefer, Spencer Dickinson, Zane Bennett facing Chase Oberly. First pitch swinging, a short tapper. Wesley Scott fields. Nice strong throw across the diamond. Gets him. Wesley Scott with a tremendous play. Nice read on the ball. Fielded it on 1 foot and a throw across the diamond. Kind of across his body to retire Schaefer on the 6-3 put out. If we could put an exclamation point on that one. Well, I can. That's my book. I can do what I want to, right, Dante? So 6-3 with an exclamation point. We'll put that one. Spencer Dickinson. Walton was stranded in the second inning. Takes a first pitch fastball for strike one from Oberly. Oberly goes, as we see a lot, no windup. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, strike two. They look to Oberly to be the ace of the staff. Has the stuff, and he's done a good job this year, and that is a nice piece of 0-2 hitting by Dickinson. Went down and got that one. And Dickinson is on with one out, a single through
right fielder Zane Bennett.
The hole on the left side of the infield. So Zane Bennett to the plate now with one out and Dickinson on first. Bennett 0 for 1, flew out to center field in the second inning. Came into today's game batting .321. First pitch swinging, foul down the third baseline. Gorgeous day in Arkadelphia. Nice cool breeze. There will be some sunburned faces, I would imagine. The 0-1 pitch fouled out of play into the creek. It separates Rab Rogers Field. That's Mill Creek. Separates Rab Rogers Field from the Cliff Harris Stadium parking lot. Lots of baseballs in that creek. And Oberly's ahead in the count, 0-2. Good 0-2 take from Bennett. That one was upstairs. Right now, 65 degrees. Winds about 14 miles per hour from the south-southwest. The 1-2 swing and a miss, strike three. And Zane Bennett goes down. There's at least one strikeout in every inning from Oberly. He had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and now 1 in the fourth. That adds up to 7. So now Jaden Schaefer to the plate, the first baseman. Grounded out to Connor Titus at first base for the third out of the second inning. Heading the count 1-0, and Oberly didn't have that release point there, and he's behind in the count 2-0. The former Tiger baseball coach Tommy Murphy walking up with Miss Pat. Good to see Coach Murphy. The 2-0 pitch, high fly ball into right center field. There's a 14-mile-an-hour wind blowing in, and Isaac now makes that one look like a can of corn for the third out of the inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Ouachita holding on, and they'll try to add to that 1-run lead when we come back to Rab Rogers Field after this timeout.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Go to the bottom of the fourth for Ouachita. Joseph Bolin, Austin Gathright, Reese McWilliams. Mentioned Coach Murphy before the break. Murphy was the longtime assistant football coach, head baseball coach during some of my time, and one of the funniest stories I've ever heard from a baseball coach. Coach Murphy got hit in the jaw with a baseball, broke his jaw as Bolin takes the first pitch he sees for ball one. Had to have his jaw wired shut, and this is during the season. And let's just say that he asked his wife to get creative with how he wanted to eat his food and what he wanted to eat through a straw. The count is now 2-0. Won't go any further than that, but every time I see Coach Murphy at the baseball field, at Rab Rogers Field, I think of jaws wired shut and getting creative with what foods you're going to drink through a straw and how you have to put them in the blender and get them to that point. So I'll just leave it at that for you guys, but always good to see Coach Murphy and Miss Murphy. 3-0 the count now to Joseph Bolin. Takes the first pitch, the 3-0, I guess that was the fourth pitch. The 3-0 count, the 3-0 pitch taken for a called strike one. Bolin was caught looking in the second inning. This is the second time he's led off. He led off the second, now leads off the fourth. The count is 3-1. High fly ball, pop up. Braden Smith can't see it. Does look like he's found it. It landed in the field of play, but might have caught the net, and so it is strike two. That one went right in the direction of Coach Howard's mother, and that would have, it also went in the direction of our wireless transmitters, so I would much rather hit our wireless transmitters than Coach Howard's mother. Full count now to Bolin. The Ouachita junior catcher, the 3-2 pitch. High fly ball into the gap. Marsick retreats to the warning track, but right in front of the warning track, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. That's the wind looks like, based on the flag in right center field, that is hanging down, not blowing at all. So the wind is calmed down a little bit, significantly, and as soon as I say that, it's blowing out to left field now. Gathright to the plate for Ouachita, the second baseman, batting in the 6 hole. Singled and scored the only run of the game in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch is a ground ball. Tried to backhand at first base, but couldn't quite get it. Jaden Schaefer had a beat on it, tried to backhand it and slide and pop up all at the same time, but he could not do it. It's going to go down as a hit for Gathright. So the freshman from Frisco is 2 for 2. Reese McWilliams is 1 for 1. When Gathright was on first in the second, it was a hit and run. McWilliams put one perfectly down the left field line. You can see the paint or the chalk. Squares around a bunt and then pulls it back. There's a throwback to first base. It's a nice job by Jaden Schaefer of coming off the bag to keep that one from going into foul territory. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs for ball 2. Say hello to Brad Bettis, former Tiger, living in Hot Springs, watches a lot of our broadcast. Saw some back and forth between he and his teammates from the mid-90s who will never forget their midweek victory at Louisiana Tech in the mid-90s. The 2-0 pitch, that's a base hit right up the middle for McWilliams. McWilliams is 2 for 2, and so the 6 and 7 spots in the Ouachita lineup are both 2 for 2. So now Ouachita has something going here in the fourth as well, thanks to McWilliams and Gathright. Bettis on that team in the mid-90s who went down to Ruston and beat Louisiana Tech in the midweek after Louisiana Tech had beaten LSU the previous week. Transitive properties have Ouachita beating LSU that year, right? That's how that works. Believe from the stories that I've heard, there was some legendary heckling from the Louisiana Tech students, the outfielders, that game. Connor Hill is behind in the count, 0-2 now after taking 2 big cuts at breaking balls from Stewart. Connor Titus in the 9-hole is up next. We'll try to get it back to the top of the order to now. The 0-2 pitch, rinse and repeat, and same looking swing. Connor Hill is retired on the strikeout. 4th strikeout of the day for David Stewart. No action in either bullpen. Both these pitchers have had pretty good command of the opposing lineup. Ouachita able to get 5 hits, 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. Oklahoma Baptist, no runs on 3 hits, 1 Bison error. Connor Titus to the plate with 2 outs, runners on first and second. First pitch is low for ball 1. Oklahoma Baptist tied for second in the conference. Harding ahead of Oklahoma Baptist as that one's fouled out of play and the count is 1-1. Harding leads things right now in the conference at 12-3. Oklahoma Baptist, Henderson State at 9-6. Ouachita game back at 8-7. There's a big jumble there in the 2 through 10 spots. Here we are halfway through the GAC season. The 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. Stewart wanted that one. Stewart's probably not the only Bison in the park that wanted that pitch. Brad, I don't see your old Stone Temple Pilots cassette up here in the press box. The 2-1 pitch is taken for a called strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Stewart trying to get the Bison back to the dugout. The 2-2 pitch to Titus. Fly ball. It's going to land, but it's going to be foul, and Marsick made an attempt. Ran out of real estate as he ran into the fence in the bullpen, or fence protecting the bullpen down the left field line. Not a lot of foul territory in the outfield down the lines. Once you get probably about 295 down, that's where the bullpen cuts in. So only about 10 feet of foul territory for the last 45 to 50 feet down the lines. That does help the batters. Otherwise, Marsick probably would have been able to make that catch. We'll do it again with 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Titus trying to extend it. A base hit could score another run for Ouachita. The 2-2 pitch inside corner of the zone for strike 3. And that is how the side is retired. So no runs for the Tigers. They do get 2 hits and they strand 2. We go to the top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Ouachita on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Top of the 5th inning. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters for Oklahoma Baptist. Braden Smith, Jesse Tisdale back to the top of the order to Matt Marsick. Chase Oberly on for his 5th inning of work. Behind in the count to Smith, 2-0. Smith 0 for 1, struck out in the 3rd inning. The 2-0 pitch is fouled right back to the net, and thankfully for the net, it's there. Otherwise, that would have caught Dante or myself right between the eyeballs. 2-1. Fisted him and fouled it back to the net again. So Oberly has bounced back in the count. 2-2. Nice pitch from Chase Oberly. Nice bounce back after a 2-0 count, and he bounces back with a breaking ball that gets Braden Smith swinging for his 2nd strikeout of the day. Well, that's Smith's 2nd, I believe the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts in the first 4 and the 3rd innings from Chase Oberly. That'll check down at first base and did not go around. Probably the right call there. Jesse Tisdale 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the 3rd inning. Came in batting .263. The 1-0 pitch is taken for strike 1. The 1-1 pitch. Did he go? He did not. That one was a lot closer. Count is 2-1 now from Chase Oberly. Inside for ball 3. Tisdale had to retreat back from that one, or he would have caught that one off the knuckles. The 3-1 pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Full count. Oberly tried to bounce back for the 2nd time in a row. The 3-2 pitch outside for ball 4. It's only the 2nd walk of the day issued by Oberly. Spencer Dickinson was the other walk in the 2nd inning. We go back to the top of the order to Matt Marsick. 1 for 2. Grounded out to second base to lead off the game. And Singleton was stranded in the 3rd. He bats with a runner on first and 1 out. Squares around a bunt. Pulls it back. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike 1 from Oberly. Good mix of fastballs and off speeds and locations from Oberly. Seems to have command of anything he's trying to throw today. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball through the hole on the right side. That'll enable the runner to advance all the way to third base. So for the 2nd time in a row, Matt Marsick has given Oklahoma Baptist the 1st and 3rd situation. Actually, it was Morris who did it last time, and now Morris is the one coming to the plate. So Marsick reached on a single in the 3rd. Morris got him to third base with 2 outs. So now with 1 out, Tisdale is at third. Marsick on the single through the right side in the outfield is at first base. So Coach Dave Brown, pitching coach for Ouachita, is going to come out and talk to Chase Oberly. Joseph Bolin out there as well. So no action in either bullpen. Keenan Morris to the box for Oklahoma Baptist. 1 for 2. Struck out in the first. Singled and was stranded in the third. Bolin will step out and give the first to third instructions to his infield. Marsick 4 of 5 on stolen base opportunities. You wonder if they might try to steal a base to avoid a double play, try to catch Ouachita in a throwing error situation. He does not break, and the first pitch is ball 1. Morris steps in. McWilliams is even with the bag at third. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses just upstairs for ball 2. Ouachita and Oberly escaped in the third. They'll try to do the same here. The 2-0 pitch, high for ball 3. So now the Oklahoma Baptist dugout feeling it. Would imagine that Morris would have a significant take sign on here, especially with DJ Van Atten on deck. The 3-0 pitch misses inside for ball 4. So here we go, big situation.
Now batting designated hitter, DJ Van Atten.
Tisdale is at third. Marsick at second. Morris at first. This is who Oklahoma Baptist wants up in this spot, DJ Van Atten. 400 batting average on the season. He's 0 for 2 on the day. The wind is blowing out to left. First pitch, ground ball to Scott. Fields the flip across. In time, 6-4-3. Rack him up, and the Tigers are back to the dugout. They're excited, and so is Chase Oberly. DJ Van Atten, first pitch, swinging, ground ball to Scott. Flip to Gathright, and he made the turn at second base for the double play. So, Tigers escape again. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. Back for the bottom of the 5th after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, whatever pitching coach Dave Brown said to Chase Oberly worked. He said, throw the pitch that you can get the 6-4-3 double play and get out of here. That's exactly what Oberly did. And the Tigers escape the first and third with one out, or actually bases loaded with one out. And they get one of the conference's leading hitters out on the 6-4-3 double play, and that sends us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Isaac now. The 1-0 pitch, a line drive into left field. That one kept carrying, and Matt Marsick caught it over his head for a fly ball out. Another one. Another fly ball out thrown by Stewart. He had 2 in the first. That's the 5th fly ball that Ouachita has not been able to find the grass. Found the glove of an outfielder. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Wesley Scott steps in. Scott 1 for 2. Singled in the first and stole second, then was stranded. Popped out to the shortstop in the second inning on the 2-strike count. He's ahead in the count now, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Big cut at that one, fouled it off the cap, and the count is even, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, outside for ball 2. Chase Oberly threw pitches when he needed to throw them. Made the pitch, and it's really been Ouachita's defense that has, the 2-1 pitch from Scott is fouled back to the net. It has been the Ouachita defense all year that has really kept them in ball games. We talked about the batting average, defense and pitching. We talked about the batting average. The team batting average is not what they would like it to be, and it's definitely a different offensive attack and lineup than it has been the last 2 years. Wesley Scott's got a chance at extra bases, and that one gets in the gap, but the wind cut it down, and that is a nice cutoff in right field, forcing Scott to come back. Even there's a throw back to first. As Scott, I think he thought he had 2 off the bat as well. You got to give credit to Zane Bennett out in right field for Oklahoma Baptist, cutting that one off, making a strong throw, because Wesley Scott was a third of the way to second base when he realized he had to put on the brakes and dive back into second. Now the umpire is going to call time, and Wesley Scott's going to walk something off. Athletic trainer Ashley Harris waiting for the sign to come out or not. He gives 2 thumbs up. Octavio Mendeville takes the body armor from Scott. Mendeville coaching first base there, the opening day catcher. You see the wrap on Mendeville's right wrist. He got hurt early in the season, and they're hoping to get Mendeville back. It was a good bat in this Ouachita lineup, and then they lost it and had to try to find it from other ways. Wesley Scott's one of those, and he stands at first base with 1 out, and Graham up to the plate now for Ouachita. Garrett Graham takes the first pitch he sees, 4-1, came into the game batting .268 on the season. Graham, a junior from Abilene, Texas, went to Abilene Wiley, played at Paris Junior College. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. Pop fly, and that's going to get out of play behind the net. Might have gotten close to our OSDN production trailer. Again, it is the first weekend of spring break. Spring break starting for Ouachita students. Let's be honest, it's 2:18 on Friday afternoon. Spring break has already started. Would like to thank our students from the OSDN who stuck around this weekend or are helping with our broadcast. We'll throw back over to first. Scott gets in safely. Dante Gibson up here in the press box on camera 1. Chloe Velleman, Madeline Colzer, Gavin Wallace, Eli Wilson, Coleman Callan also helping us out today, or this weekend. The 1-1 pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Isaac Bourne has normally been the play-by-play voice. He is covering the NCAA men's tournament for Mid-Major Madness. He's in Lexington, Kentucky, easy for me to say, this weekend. Another throw back to Scott. He dives back in safely. Make sure the ball is thrown back to the mound by Schaefer. There you saw a good look at Scott making sure the ball was gone before he got up and took his hand off the base. The 1-2 pitch to Graham. Scott breaks, and there will be no throw as it was a breaking ball. Broke outside. Catcher Smith had to backhand it and just was not going to have a throw. And so Scott steals his second base of the day. And he is at second base now in scoring position for Garrett Graham. 0 for 2, fly out to center field and left field. The count is 2-2. Shot through the right side would probably score Wesley Scott, or at least draw a throw. The 2-2 pitch, a high fly ball to center field. Center fielder's not even going to have to move. Scott will fake a tag to draw a throw. It's cut off by Morris, and that is the second out of the inning. Designated hitter Jackson Jester stands up with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Mention Isaac Bourne. Maybe used to hearing his voice. He's in Lexington covering the Lexington Regional for Mid-Major Madness. He's written for that college basketball website for the last 3 years. He was kind of bummed out that he didn't get to cover some of those mid-major upsets that happened yesterday in the NCAA tournament. So Jester stands in, runner on scoring position. He pulls that one foul down the first base line. Jaden Schaefer fielded it. Most likely would have been the third out as Stewart was covering. Brian Ramsey and Matthew Branch don't get a spring break either to speak of. They're up here in the box working, the athletic communications staff at Ouachita. The 0-1 pitch is outside. Matthew got to go to Indianapolis last week as Ouachita swimming and diving and wrestling were all up in the national championship, the NCAA Division II Festival. The 1-1 pitch is taken for a called strike 2. Trying to find Matthew's post of how many pictures he took during that trip. It was phenomenal. The 1-2 pitch is misses. It crossed somebody up. Not sure if it crossed the pitcher, the umpire, or the catcher up. It was a close pitch. It looked like it broke back over the plate, but umpire did not agree, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second, bottom of the 5th. Graham trying to extend it. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. So for the Tigers in the 5th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We have completed 5 innings. Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. Chase Oberly back on the mound for the 6th when we come back on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Game 1 of 2 today in this 3-game GAC series. 2 games today, 1 game tomorrow. Game 2 today will start about 30 minutes after Game 1, approximately 4:30ish. Game 3, the series finale, will start tomorrow at noon here at Rab Rogers Field. We got a long way to go before we get there. We got a long way to go before we get to the end of this one. Start the top of the 6th, 1-0 Ouachita with the lead. They got that run in the 2nd inning. Chase Oberly comes out for his 6th inning of work. The 0-1 pitch misses. Nice take from Oklahoma Baptist, Lucas Schaefer. The 1-1 pitch, Schaefer 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to shortstop. That was a nice play by Wesley Scott. That's one I put the exclamation point by in the book. Chase ahead in the count, 0-2. Excuse me, 1-2. 1-2 pitch, fly ball to center field. Isaac now measures it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Third baseman Spencer Dickinson.
Spencer Dickinson to the plate. Walked. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. Walked in the second, singled, and was stranded in the fourth. He bats with 1 out here in the sixth. First pitch swinging. Fly ball to Nowell in center field. Takes about 4 steps up. Makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Chase Oberly at 72 pitches today. 4 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. He'll face Zane Bennett, who's 0 for 2. Flew out to center in the second, struck out in the fourth. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Might as well just take a third fly ball to Isaac Nowell here in the sixth, just for poetry's sake. The 0-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 1. .63 degrees, winds from the south-southwest from 10 to 20 miles an hour. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Last week, I got a video from Coach Howard last week from Southern Nazarene during pregame. A player threw a glove up in the air, some object up in the air, heavier object in the outfield, and it blew about 45 feet over the fence. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. The 1-2, Bennett holds off on that one, and the count is even at 2-2. They suspended game 1 in the 3rd inning last week in Bethany. Oberly was on the mound. Asked Coach Dave Brown, pitching coach, what the deciding factor was. He said, well, if the pitchers could not stand there without balking, they said they would stop the game. The 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball, misses outside for ball 3, so the count is full. So when the winds gusted up to 69, 70 miles an hour and the pitchers could not start their motion without balking, they suspended the game. The 3-2 pitch, fouled out of play. Nice AB from Zane Bennett. He actually said that they could have called several balks on the pitchers, but I can't imagine standing there in a 70-degree gust. I think sustained winds were about 40, trying to stand still to start your motion. The 3-2 pitch misses for ball 4, so it's a 2-out walk issued to Zane Bennett, the 4th of the day, issued by Oberly. So Jaden Schaefer to the plate, 0 for 2, grounded out to first base for the 3rd out of the 2nd inning. Flew out to Isaac Nowell, the 3rd out of the 4th inning. They play him to pull. Look at some spray charts from Oklahoma Baptist and several pull hitters. Schaefer's one of those. 32 balls put in play in the outfield. 50% of those have all gone to right field, and another 22 have gone to center field. So 72% of the balls that Schaefer puts in play have gone to center or left field. Center or right field. The 0-1 pitch is taken for a called strike 2. So now you can put all the analytics out, and the swing will have to change now. He has gone opposite field to left field a decent amount of times too, but now Isaac Nowell is going to shade him over to right field even more. The 0-2 pitch outside for ball 1. So Connor Hill in right field, playing a little bit more towards the line than normal. Isaac Nowell is shading significantly to right field in center field. Gathright also playing Schaefer to pull. Zane Bennett gets back safely with the throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Oberle's 1-2 pitch. Swing, a shot right back up the middle, and that is exactly where Wesley Scott was playing. Scott, not playing in his normal shortstop position, was playing just 2 feet to the third base side of the bag, fielded it cleanly, fielded it. Bob smothered it, stepped on the bag for the 3rd out of the inning. Schaefer, I guess, fielder's choice. Bennett retired, 6 unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ouachita will try to add to that 1-run lead again when we come back on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Berry & Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Ouachita. Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Washita.
New pitcher in the bottom of the 6th inning for Oklahoma Baptist. That'll be Logan Kimbrough. Kimbrough is a 6-foot senior from Iowa Park, Texas. Transferred from Cowley County Community College. Kimbrough in his 13th appearance, all but one of those in relief. Has 15 2/3 innings pitched, 4.02 ERA. He's given up 20 hits, 11 runs, 7 of those earned. He's walked 5 and struck out 18. He will face the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Ouachita, Joseph Bolin. Joseph Bolin, Austin Gathright, Reese McWilliams. Bolin swings at the first pitch, the 1-0 pitch, and the count is even at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, it's the bottom part of the zone for strike 2. The 1-2 pitch by Bolin is fouled out of play. That's going to land on top of the net. That one, actually, the wind pushed that closer to back in play than I thought it would. It was a nice effort by Jaden Schaefer. Little cutout by the indoor hitting facility where they put the field equipment during games. Schaefer did a nice job of going all the way over and trying to make the play, but could not, and Bolin is back at 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Bolin, that's a fly ball into right field. That might stay fair. It is going to stay fair for sure. Nice play in right field by Zane Bennett. Hung up in the air a little bit too much for Joseph Bolin. So
Austin Gathright.
Bolin is retired for the first out of the 6th inning. To bring up Austin Gathright. Gathright 2 for 2 on the day. Scored the lone run for Ouachita in the 2nd inning. Oklahoma Baptist, no runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Ouachita, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. Gathright squares around a bunt. He tried to pull it back, but he caught part of it, and that's strike 1. Gathright, a 5'11", 175-pound freshman from Frisco. He's one of 3 lefties in this Ouachita lineup today. The 0-1 pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. There's action in both bullpens now. Tag Payco running and getting loose, not throwing yet for Ouachita. The 0-2 pitch to Gathright, the lefty on lefty, and the lefty on the mound wins that battle. So Gathright strikes out looking. That's the first time he's been retired today. Now you bring up Reese McWilliams, who's also 2 for 2.
Now batting third baseman, Reese McWilliams.
Can't get a number on either of the pitchers that are standing up in the Oklahoma Baptist bullpen. McWilliams, strike 1 on that one, and that went to the benefit of Kimbrough. The lefty got the ball plus some on the outside part of the plate. He'd probably go right back there. I would. That one was too far, so it looked like if he got that pitch, if I'm Braden Smith, I'm calling for the same one. So the count is even at 1-1 to the Ouachita 7-hole hitter Reese McWilliams. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. So Kimbrough has 8 pitches, trying to get out of this inning with 9. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch upstairs for ball 2. The 2-2 pitch, high fly ball into center field. That shouldn't be a problem for Jesse Tisdale. He steps under it and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers for the 2nd time today. And we are through 6 innings. Ouachita 1, Oklahoma Baptist 0. Back to the Rab after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
I'm Attorney Taylor King. For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm Attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm Attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
Braden Smith leads things off at the top of the 7th for Oklahoma Baptist. It'll be Smith, then then Jesse Tisdale back to the top of the order to Matt Marsick. Chase Oberly back on for the Tigers. Oberly, 83 pitches coming into this inning, 4 hits, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. The 1-0 pitch to Smith, swing and a miss for strike 1. Oberly's into 4 flyouts, 5 groundouts. 1-2 the count now to Braden Smith. The 1-2 Ground ball to shortstop Wesley Scott. Fields nice strong throw across the diamond. And for the 7th consecutive inning, Chase Oberly has retired the leadoff batter. Chase Oberly has not allowed a leadoff batter on base in any of the 7 innings that he's been in action. Jesse Tisdale to the 9-hole hitter. Tisdale is 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out in the 3rd inning, walked in advance, and was stranded at 3rd in the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. The 1-1 pitch misses upstairs. Two and 1 now to Tisdale. Came into the game batting .263 on the season. The 2-1 pitch from Oberly upstairs for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Fouled back to the screen on the 3-1 pitch, so the count is full. Full count from Oberly. 3-2 pitch. That's a number to first base. Fielded, and the flip to Oberly covering for the 3-1 put out. Nice job by Connor Titus. Anytime you have that right-handed batter that hits one down there, it's going to possibly have some funny English on it. They do throw that ball out. Oberly did a nice job of covering the bag. And Tisdale is retired on the 3-1 put out for the 2nd out of the inning. Back to the top of the order to Matt Marsick, and these last couple of at-bats from Marsick and Morris have been what's given the most promise for Oklahoma Baptist. Marsick has had singles in his last 2 at-bats against Oberly. Morris has also reached on his last 2 at-bats. The 1-0 pitch, a ground ball, foul down the first base line. And the count is 1-2. Top of the order has threatened today for Oklahoma Baptist. Now Marsick's up with nobody on base, and the 1-1 pitch is low and inside for ball 2. Oberly wanted a check. They do check down to third base. The 2-1 pitch is fouled out of play. Catches the parking lot and then sends a Tiger to the restroom. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch just misses outside. Oberly wanted it, didn't get it. And so now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 7th. The 3-2 pitch, fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Nice approach by Marsick. Nice AB staying in there. This would be the 3rd time that Oberly has gone 7 complete. Did it against Emporia State on February 7th, against Harding on February 28th. Previous longest outing, 6 1/3 against SAU on March 7th. The 3-2 pitch from Oberly. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Oberly gets Marsick to strike out to end the top of the 7th inning. So it is stretch time at Rab Rogers Field. Tigers lead 1-0. And we'll be back with the bottom of the 7th after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
You get a good look at the American flag blowing from left field to right field here at Rab Rogers Field. It is a little bit windy, but it's nothing compared to what it was last week. I mentioned last week that we got a video from Ouachita head coach Luke Howard of some of the guys in the outfield. I think we have a chance to check out that video, but this was from last week at Southern Nazarene, and you're going to hear the wind in the microphone. You throw it up, and then the wind blowing that glove at least 40 feet. And so that's what it was like playing last week in Bethany, Oklahoma. And just since we went to that video, you see that the wind here today has shifted. So it is a swirling wind. Sometimes it's blowing towards left field or across from right to left. Sometimes it's been left to right, and sometimes it's been in from outfield. So, but nothing compared to what the Tigers faced last week in Bethany, Oklahoma. As we talk about it now, the wind starts blowing in from right center field. Start the bottom of the 7th inning. Kimbrough back on for his first full inning of work after he came in, second full inning of work. He came in to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Coach Luke Howard going to call an offensive timeout now. It's the 8-9-1 hitters for Ouachita. Connor Hill, Connor Titus, and back to the top of the order to Isaac Nowell. Coach Howard called the offensive timeout. Count is 1-0 to Connor Hill. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled out of play off the net. Almost back into the batter's box, and the count is even at 1-1. But yeah, it was a significant wind last weekend. I believe Northwestern, Oklahoma State, and Southern Arkansas were delayed a day as the 1-1 pitches in the dirt. As if you remember last weekend, Oklahoma winds up to 70, 75 miles an hour. Significant dust storms that cause some issues on interstates. But today it is a beautiful day for baseball in Arkadelphia. The 2-1 pitch fouled out of play, and the count is even at 2-2. There are pitchers loosening lightly in the Oklahoma Baptist bullpen. Nobody throwing. There are also pitchers doing the same in the Ouachita bullpen. Looks like Tag Payco, I believe, but it looks like as the 2-2 pitch comes from Kimbrough, that misses outside for ball 3. Braden Smith thought that was strike 3. But the count is full. Looks like this is going to be Oberle's 8th inning to come back, and Kimbrough, as long as he is in control. The 3-2 pitch is a ground ball to second base. Second base plays it on a hop, and the throw over across the nine is good. Lucas Schaefer did a nice job of playing that one on the short hop. And he retires Connor Hill on the 4-3 put out for the first out of the inning. Connor Titus, the 9-hole hitter for Ouachita, comes to the plate now for the Tigers with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Titus 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Isaac Nowell on deck for the Tigers, and we go back to the top of the order after Titus. How's that one? Back to the backstop. Count is 0-1. Again, this is game 1 of the 3-game series. We'll have game 2, which will be a 7-inning game later this afternoon. That'll be on a separate stream. And then tomorrow, the series finale will be at noon. The 0-1 pitch, off speed, misses inside for ball 1. A couple of pitchers now starting their loosening routines in the Ouachita bullpen. The 1-1 swing and a miss, and that caught Braden Smith. He's going to, or the umpire, one of the two. Either one of them are going to tough it out. Breathe deeply and get back in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Logan Kimbrough. The 1-2 pitch fouled back to the net. Titus stays alive. Since Kimbrough came in the 6th, he's retired 4 straight Tigers. He went 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. Retired Connor Hill to lead off the 7th. Trying to make it 5. The 1-2 pitch is fouled out of play. That was a nice 2-strike swing and fouling it out of play. Just living to see another pitch by Connor Titus. Swing and a miss. Braden Smith. This might be tough. Smith falls, but they still get the throw. They make the throw down. And Titus is retired. There was some chatter from the Oklahoma Baptist dugout from the coaches asking the umpire if he saw any interference or umpires talking to Braden Smith now. All seems to be good. Regardless, this out was retired on the strikeout and the 2-3 put out. So now Isaac now back to the plate for Ouachita. The leadoff hitter hits that one back into the net where you can tell our crowd mic is. The count is 0-1. Now 0 for 3 on the day. The 0-1 misses high. The 1-1 pitch to now. Upstairs for ball 2. The 2-1. That's a fisted base hit into right field from Isaac now. Went the opposite way with it. Looked like he tried to come inside. Now fought it off and got a 2-out single to right field for his first hit of the game. Brings up Wesley Scott. 2 for 3 on the night. He had a single to center field and stole a base in the first. Popped out to shortstop in the third, and then a single and another single and stolen base in the fifth. He bats with 2 outs here, and Isaac now on first base. Wesley Scott listed as a switch hitter, and normally, or last year anyway, when we saw a left-handed batter, you'd see him bat from the right side and vice versa, but he's gone almost exclusively to that right side of the plate, even against right-handed pitchers. The 1-0 pitch is popped up and out of play. Saw Wesley Scott on the field a couple hours after practice earlier this week with Drew Howard and Will Howard, Coach Howard's 2 young boys. Scott stands in with a 1-1 count. The 1-1 pitch fisted out of play down the right side. Lands on top of the indoor hitting facility, and the count is now 1-2 to the Ouachita sophomore shortstop, Wesley Scott from Dallas. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tigers trying to get an insurance run somehow, some way. swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is the third out of the inning. So Scott is retired on the strikeout. Kimbrough continues his quality work in relief. We are through 7 innings. Tigers lead by 1. 1-0 Ouachita, and we'll be back for the top of the 8th after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Couple of defensive substitutions for the Tigers as we start the top of the 8th inning. Into right field is Cade Bowman. Bowman is a freshman from Little Rock, went to Little Rock Christian. And in at first base, Logan Bell, a senior from Cabot. So Bell at first base and Bowman in right field. It'll be 2, 3, 4 for Oklahoma Baptist. Keenan Morris, DJ Van Atten, and Lucas Schaefer. Morris fouls off the first pitch he sees from Chase Oberly. Oh, 0-2 the count now after the big swing and miss from Morris. Oberly's 0-2 pitch fouled off of the foot of Morris. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs from Oberly to Morris. Misses upstairs for that one. I talked about him a little bit earlier, but joining us now in the booth is former Ouachita baseball coach and assistant football coach Tommy Murphy.
Good to be here.
Yeah. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Morris is retired by Chase Oberly. Miss Pat, good to see you as well, as always. Now, Coach, I gotta tell on myself. When I saw you walk up, as DJ Van Atten comes to the plate, Van Atten is 0 for 3. He is due, though. He's batting .400 coming into today's game. He hasn't done anything with runners on base, but he could tie this game with 1 swing. I got to tell on myself when I saw you walk up into the park, and I said, well, there's Coach Murphy. As the 1-0 pitch from Van Atten is a ground ball fielded by Reese McWilliams. A nice strong throw across the diamond, and Van Atten is retired on the 5-3 put out for the second out of the inning. I said one of the funniest stories I'll ever remember is when a ball hit you and broke your jaw, and then you had to have it wired shut.
I did. I said for 8 weeks, Chris.
8 weeks. You couldn't. 8 weeks. 8 weeks you couldn't talk.
Well, I couldn't talk good, but umpires understood some of the things.
Some of them they probably didn't need to understand, did they?
Well, in Harding, he understood that one. There was a fair ball that was hit down the Harding line.
That's right.
And they called it foul, and it was a home run.
Of course they did.
And the first base umpire separated me because it was a fair ball.
Chase Oberly gets the Bison's 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 8th. We're here with Ouachita. I was gonna say legend. I can't say that though. That'll go to his head if I say Ouachita legend.
No, I was here with some legends.
That's right. So what I was telling everybody is that you had to get creative with what you were going to eat.
Oh, yeah.
What's the most creative thing you remember? And see if it matches what was in my memory.
Well, Pat was good at cooking stuff. And
Yeah.
A lot of soup,
Yeah.
but I wanted a hamburger.
That's
one
right.
time. And so she put everything on it, everything, and mixed it up in the blender. And I figured, well, this should be good. It was the worst hamburger I think I've ever
Hamburger
eaten.
through a straw is just not quite the same, is it?
It was hard to get it through the straw.
A blender can only do so much.
You're right, because I don't know how you remember stuff like that.
Oh, I will never, ever forget that. I might get to the point where I forget where I put my keys, but I will never, ever forget that. Coach Murphy, you've known Coach Howard for a long time, since he was here the first time.
Right.
And Coach Howard is one that just seems to know how to try to build a program. He's having to rebuild. He lost a lot last year trying to find the pieces to put it together and get something going in this season. But I've seen the relationship that you guys have. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Well, Luke and Annie have both been, they rented our house
Right.
when we were living in the village.
Yeah.
And Pat can probably join in on part of that. But everything happened. I mean, we had to put new things in it whenever they were there.
Right, right.
Everything. But they stayed there the whole time, I think, till they were here the first time.
Garrett Graham leads off the bottom of the 8, squares around a bunt. Braden Smith comes out from behind the dish and fields the ball and throws Graham out at first. So Graham out on the 2-3 put, actually probably 2-4, put out on the bunt for the first out, and Jackson Jester comes to the plate. But, yeah, Coach Howard, I knew that first time he was here and had a relationship with you, and then I see your name on the back of several of these supporters have really tried to help this program, whether it's facilities or other support.
He's done a great job. He's done a great job of getting all of the new facility that's been done here. And we've been trying to support it, too, a little bit. We support it as much as we can. And we also support football, as you well know, probably.
You had a few.
You were talking about legends. See, I was here with both of the legends. All of these legends that are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to our football coach, Todd
Knight,
Knight's
in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, April 11th, 10th and 11th, I believe, and that's over in Hot Springs now.
Right.
The 0-2 pitch to Jackson Jester. It's a ground ball to short. Nice job, a double clutch by shortstop Keenan Morris, but he is able to retire Jester on the 6-3 put out for the second out of the inning. And I know, Coach, you guys both have a long relationship with Ouachita through whether it's through working here, going to school here, maintaining relationships, and that's kind of the neat part about the whole atmosphere of the university is relationships you can have with people you were in school with, and then even the ones that come and work years later.
That's true, and we're here today because we've been to a retirement dinner. They invited a lot of us back for the first time since COVID, I think. That they're going to start doing that again. So it's always good to come back home.
Always good, and I'm glad you came up. I made the motion to you to come on up, and I didn't know if you would, but I'm glad you did.
Well, we'll wait for this batter.
You got stuck talking, is what you were going to say.
Well,
right?
we met the batter that was the number 33, I think it was.
Right.
We've been talking to his.
You talked to somebody when you got here, Coach?
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't think that. Coach,
but that's who we were talking to.
That's right.
And he's doing bad today. I said, we've got a good pitcher.
Well, that's a good shot from Joseph Bolin, but a nice play by Bennett in right field. And Bolin is retired on the F9 in the bottom of the 8th. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers. We'll go to the top of the 9th when we come back. Coach Murphy, Miss Murphy, always good to see you.
Hey, thanks for
coming
having
by.
us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll come back for the top of the 9th inning when we come back on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. And now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Well, we go to the top of the ninth inning. Chase Oberly on for his ninth inning of work. The Tigers lead 1-0. It'll be 5-6-7 for Ouachita. For Oklahoma Baptist, Spencer Dickinson, Zane Bennett, Jaden Schaefer. They'll face Chase Oberly at his longest outing of the day today, and he starts the top of the ninth. It's a big swing and a miss on a breaking ball to Dickinson. The 0-1 pitch catches the corner for strike two. The 0-2 pitch to Dickinson. Too far outside for ball one. The 1-2 misses. Nice take by Dickinson for ball two. Two balls, two strikes to the leadoff batter in the ninth. The 2-2 pitch just misses outside for ball three, so full count. Tag Payco warming up in the Ouachita bullpen. They're going to hope that they don't have to go get him. The 3-2 pitch is inside for ball four, so it's a leadoff walk in the ninth inning. Zane Bennett. We're going to have a pinch runner for Oklahoma Baptist. That'll be Jonah Mahan, a 5'9 senior from Jones, Oklahoma. This will be the third appearance for Mahan. He'll be in to run. They got to get that first run across here in the ninth inning. Top of the ninth. Zane Bennett to the plate. Square around a bunt. They'll try to get the runner in scoring position, and Coach Howard is going to call time and go out and talk to his pitcher. So Coach Howard's going to let Chase Oberly stay on the mound. Zane Bennett ahead in the count, 1-0. They will most likely get Mahan to second base. They tried via the bunt, see if he squares around. It does show that he's going to try to square around. Flinched a little bit before Oberly made his throw across to first. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Bison. 1 run on 7 hits, no errors for Ouachita. The 1-0 pitch squares around a bunt, breaking ball outside for ball 2. Ouachita has escaped trouble in 3 innings. Oklahoma Baptist had a runner at third in 2 of those. Now they're trying to do it with no outs. The 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3. 3-0 pitch. Catches it for strike one. So now you can just kind of feel the crowd trying to will Chase into a strike. He could use a ground ball to Wesley Scott right here. The 3-1, a throwback. Logan Bell applies the tag, but it's not in time. They know that they're trying to get the pinch runner Mahan to second in scoring position. Trying to keep him honest. The 3-1 upstairs for ball four, and so now runners at first and second. And Coach Howard comes out, and that'll be the day for Chase Oberly. But what a day it has been. A tremendous day for Chase Oberly. He's going to finish with 120 pitches, 8+ innings, 4 hits, 6 walks, 10 strikeouts. And he gets a much-deserved round of applause from the home crowd as he comes to the dugout. His teammates meet him in front of the dugout to give him a nice pat on the back, and he will turn it over to Tag Payco. Payco will take his warm-up pitches. We'll bring you the numbers on Tag Payco. Tag Payco, 6'4", 200-pound junior, a righty. This is his 11th appearance, all of those in relief, a 3-3 record, 5.06 ERA, 21 1/3 innings pitched, 18 hits, 9 walks, 31 strikeouts, 13 runs, 12 of those are earned. You have 1 home run, and opponents are batting .228 against the Ouachita righty, a 6'4" junior from Rockwall, Texas. Payco will try to get 3 outs before Oklahoma Baptist can scratch one across. Ouachita leads 1-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Runners at first and second. 2 walks in the inning, the top of the 9th, issued by Chase Oberly. Oberly just absolutely with a fantastic, his best outing of the season, maybe of the last 2 years. 8+ innings. His previous long was 7. And he'll turn it over to Tag Payco to try to get Ouachita this win in game 1 of the 3-game series. Reese McWilliams was charging from third. Logan Bell was charging from first. Wesley Scott was covering the bag at third base. Now Joseph Bolin, the catcher, is going to step out and give his infield the defensive signals. You can see the wind whipping in Tag Payco's pants, although the flag is. Now there's a throwback, and did they get him? No! Man, that was a close one, and that was a nice wheel play from the Ouachita infield. Wesley Scott had broken to cover the bag at third. Gathright covered at second. Tag Payco wheeled around and made a nice pickoff throw at second and made it really close. And so now the count is 0-1. Schaefer shows bunt. The 0-1 pitch popped him up in the infield. Should stay in play. Reese McWilliams shields his eyes from the sun, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So there was the first one. That's a lot of times the toughest, right beside that last one. So another lefty in the order is Braden Smith. Nope, pinch hitting. Pinch hitting Austin Gonzalez, a 5'10" senior from Shawnee, Oklahoma, transfer from Coffeyville Community College. Payco gets the first pitch fastball for a called strike one. Gonzalez batting .231. He's only had 13 at-bats. The 0-1 pitch is low for ball one. They go lefty on righty matchup, does Oklahoma Baptist, with Gonzalez, who has only played in 8 games and had 13 at-bats. The 1-1 pitch coming from Payco, runners on first and second. Misses inside for ball two. Jesse Tisdale on deck in the 9-hole for the Bison. 1 out, the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball. It's going to be foul territory. The wind is carrying that out of play. It was a left-handed batter, fouled it down the left field line, so the spin and the wind did not allow that one to stay in play. So now the count is 2-2 to Gonzalez. Tag Payco. The big righty trying to get the save and save it for Chase Oberly. Runners on first and second. 1 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Payco's 2-2 pitch. Taken for a called strike 3. Gonzalez didn't like it, but the home plate umpire rung him up. So, 2 outs on the board. Tisdale, first pitch he sees is outside and high for ball one. Tisdale 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out in the second inning. Walked and was stranded in the 5th. Grounded out to first base in the 7th. The 1-0 pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. The 1 ball, 1 strike. The count from Payco to Tisdale. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Tigers lead by 1. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside. 2-1 the count now. We'll go to the top of the order. Matt Marsick and Keenan Morris. That is not who Payco wants to see. The 2-1 pitch taken for a called strike 2. It just fooled Tisdale. It just fooled him. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Top of the 9th. Tag Payco ready. The 2-2 pitch fouled back to the net. And we'll do it again as the wind picks up. Blows our papers everywhere. Here we go again, the 2-2. Upstairs, ball 3. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The runners will be off with the pitch. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball. Is it going to stay in? Bolin gives chase, and it's fouled out of play. Tisdale knew off the bat that that was fouled out of play. They will be off with the pitch again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Tigers lead by 1. Tag Payco gets his sign from Bolin. The 3-2 pitch, there's going to be wheel around and throw to Gatherite covering at second, trying to keep Mahan honest. The 3-2. Shot into left field and foul. That is foul ball by about 6 inches. Woo! That was a Subway sandwich away from giving Oklahoma Baptist a 2-1 lead. So we'll take a breath. And we will do it again. Jesse Tisdale almost gave Oklahoma Baptist a 2-run lead. They'll be off again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tisdale against Payco. The 3-2 misses for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Matt Marsick. Joseph Bolin does not protest. If the catcher agrees with the umpire, usually a pretty good indication. Now, the tying run is 90 feet away. Coach Howard asked the home plate umpire if he has another visit. He does, and so he'll go out and talk to Tag Payco. Infield comes in as well. It does not get more dramatic in this in a baseball game. You are in the top of the 9th. Up 1-0. That run came in the 2nd inning. No runs on 4 hits, 1 error for Oklahoma Baptist. 1 run on 7 hits, no errors for the Tigers. Bases are full of Bison. We go to the top of the order. Matt Marsick has 2 of those 4 hits for Oklahoma Baptist. That came against Chase Oberly. Payco, first pitch, misses low for ball 1. No place to put him. Marsick can be a little picky, but you still got 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch inside for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Payco versus Marsick, taken for a called strike 1. The 2-1 now. Low for ball 3. Payco has to come to the zone. Marsick will be ready. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So now the runners will be off with the pitch. A base hit would definitely give the lead to Oklahoma Baptist. Could be 2 depending on where the base hit goes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Payco's 3-2. Ground ball foul down the first base line. I think I've said we'll do it again way too many times here in the night. The 3-2. Ground ball down the first base line. Foul. We'll do it again. Matt Marsick fighting off anything that's close. A good AB here from the junior from Arlington, Texas. Full count, 3-2. Fly ball into left field, and it is caught, and that is a Ouachita win. Tag Payco gets Marsick to fly out to Garrett Graham in left field, and the Tigers win game 1, 1-0. Chase Oberly with the victory, Tag Payco with the save, and that is a fun one for the Tigers to get started here in this GAC series. We're going to stick around for a little bit. We talked to Coach Luke Howard about possibly talking to him, so Chloe Velleman, I believe, will have the microphone down, try to grab Luke and Chase Howard. Chase Oberly. Chase Oberly gets the win. As you see the Tigers, handshakes and high fives all around as Ouachita wins game 1 of this 3-game series. Game 2 will be here in a few minutes. We'll try to grab Coach Howard after he congratulates his players. Big hugs to Chase Oberly. Gavin Wallace is getting Coach Luke Howard mic'd up and get the earphones in there. And Coach Howard, I'm just to your left, right there. Coach, congratulations. 1-0. Talk about the outing from Chase Oberly.
Well, Chase was challenged this week that it's time for a dude to be a dude. And, hey, man, it's pitcher of the week time. And that's one of the only dudes you can talk to like that. And so if anybody throws a better outing than that this week, I'll nod my head to them
nod
too.
your head. That was 8+ innings, 120 pitches, 8 strikeouts, only 4 walks, 4 hits against a lineup that you and I talked about the day before yesterday. This is a lineup that hits the ball. And Chase Oberly came out today and really, really had great command and kind of kept them off balance and got big outs when he needed them.
Yeah, we know they can swing it. That's the thing. And you got to be able to locate your pitches on the side of the plate that they're called and absolutely putting the team on your back. That's what we'll call that.
Coach, congratulations. We'll let you go get ready for Game 2. We may see if we can try to catch Chase before he goes to the dugout. Coach, congratulations. We'll talk to you after Game 2 as well.
Appreciate it.
A victorious Ouachita head coach Luke Howard as the Tigers win Game 1 behind an 8+ inning outing from Chase Oberly. Chase is making his way over to Gavin right now as he puts the earbuds in. You got I've never been given play-by-play before, Chase, of somebody putting earbuds in. But Chase, congratulations. Tremendous outing, 8+ innings. What did you feel out there? What was working, and how were you able to keep the lineup like that off balance?
I think going at him early with fastballs and throwing off speed off that was the game plan going into it, and just went in and executed.
Talk about that 6-4-3 double play that you got out of the the 5th inning. Saw a little bit. You're kind of a quiet guy most of the time, but we saw a little bit of fire coming when you came off of that dugout. That had to feel good to get the 6-4-3 from Van Atten on the ground ball.
Yeah, Van Atten's a great hitter, and I knew he was going to be aggressive right there, so I threw a slider, try and get him off the plate, swing and roll over, and that's what happened.
Coach Howard talked about challenging some of you guys this week, and maybe particularly you on the mound coming out with a pitcher of the week type performance. When did you know that your stuff was that you had the stuff that you knew you had to have against a lineup like that?
Well, I mean, it comes down to it every day about going to practice and getting work in and sticking together through the ups and downs, and I think we did a good job responding. That was a team win right there. It's not one individual guy at any point, but yeah, I think the whole team did a good job of executing.
And then Tag comes out and gets that big out at the end. Tag's been a good pitcher for you. Had a couple of rough spots earlier in the year, but he comes out and gets a huge save, and that could be big for your staff as well.
He's a dude. That's it. He's a dude.
It's pretty simple. Chase, congratulations. Great effort, great team win, and good luck to you, to the squad the rest of the week, and we'll see you in Game 1 next week against Arkansas Tech.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chase, congratulations. That'll wrap us up in Game 1. The Tigers, 1 run on 7 hits, no errors. Oklahoma Baptist, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The winning pitcher, Chase Oberly, Tag Payco, gets the save. And the Tigers win Game 1 of this 3-game GAC series. We'll be back on a separate stream with Game 2 in about 30 minutes. Come back to OSDN.live, the Ouachita Sports Digital Network YouTube channel for Game 2 from Rab Rogers Field in about 30 minutes. Tigers win Game 1 1-0. They'll try to win the series in Game 2 here in about 30 minutes. Oklahoma Baptist will try to force the rubber match tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, and we hope you'll be back with us here in about 30 minutes. Have a great day, and go Tigers.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking.
Hi, everybody. This is John Fanta with Fox Sports and the Big East Digital Network.
Hi, this is Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky with the Chicago Bulls, our flagship station, 670 The Score.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart at ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.